All right. I want to thank everybody for coming to meet the artist at Second Life's 12th birthday. Happy birthday to Second Life and all of us for being a part of that. I am here today with artist Haveit Neox, and as you can see all around me, he does 3D builds for his art, and it is fabulous. And we'll talk about these pieces momentarily, but I wanted to start out just by have you had a chance to walk around Second Life, Haveit?
To walk around for the birthday grounds, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, not very much time. However, I did go, and what I've seen so far is absolutely phenomenal. I saw the welcoming airplane crashing into the station from the sky, and then there was the wonderful build by Todi Nakamura called Spellbound Sim.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And then, of course, the cakes. I don't know what it's called, the cake sim.
Mm-hmm.
So I've started those, and I'm extremely impressed with all that. And my exploration.
Fantastic. And I kind of like to go back to the beginning of what originally brought you into Second Life.
Someone that I know in real life lives here in Second Life as well, and he told me that this was a place that would be ideal for an artist like myself to come. And so I did come in. That was at the very end of 2009. And he gave me a tour. We were going around Second Life, and he showed me how to use the edit window. It was like maybe a 10-minute tutorial. And then he told me where else I could go to do more tutorials. And I just took off from there. I found it just the most incredible place. I am not a gamer, so this was a totally new experience for me. I had no idea how it felt to be in an avatar body, or what kind of things could be, made out of these prims, because now I knew what a prim was because of the edit window.
Right.
So I felt like I was on an adventure. And now, I'm just always so amazed when people tell me that they have these certain feelings when they come into my builds. I feel like now, it's my turn. I get to give them back some adventure as well. So I just love the whole experience of it.
Ah, what a great way to think of it. I have to tell you, that was my attraction, is I get to walk into your imagination and experience what you've imagined. And
oh, that's so cool. It's something I've always dreamed about, even as a kid, because I've always built things like in the backyard, or drawn cities on long sheets of paper that are taped together to make these long worlds.
A little bit about some of the art that you have out here. You want to start with the lovely lady to my left over here?
Oh, okay. I'm just panning over there. If you kind of like pan around her, you'll see that she's actually looking at herself in the mirror. The original setting for this piece was inside of a building that you see. Inside of the mirror, you see these pillars and a park behind it, because originally that's where this piece was installed. So I've made several more mirrors in the meantime. I like the way that in Second Life you can also play with illusion.
Ah, yes.
She was actually made for, I participate in hunts on my sim, ACC Alpha. And my very dear friend Lilia, also, she has a beautiful texture shop on ACC Alpha, and she brings a lot of people into the sim because she also participates in the hunts. So we're always making gifts. And this was one of the gifts that I had in a particular hunt.
Ah, what a fun gift, a mirror. I love it.
Yeah. Everyone should have a mirror in Second Life.
Of course. And so next to that, you want to explain. I'm not getting too close to it because I am terrified of spiders, and that thing is full of spiders.
Kind of reminds you of Sedona, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
It's like this is very desert. This piece in the back is actually much smaller than the original. The original is, well, you probably couldn't even see it from here because it's.
They're up top.
I don't even know how high.
They're up here. I'll show you. They're up top there. In the neck of the woman, there is a bunch of the building pieces that have kind of dislodged and are moving upwards with what looks like kind of a shirt draped over it. And look inside.
Yeah. There you find this. Yeah. The cute little critters are all inside. And this is part of the exhibit that is currently on that I've done on a Lee sim, the Lee 20, Leia, I guess. I don't know how you pronounce it. L-E-A, Leia sim. And that's going to be up until the end of this month, the night of June 30th. I've built an entire sim that's based on the theme of homelessness. So this is one of the major pieces that you will find floating in the sky. And on the platform that's just below this figure, there are pictures that I've posted that are also showing various parts of that same exhibit.
And what made you choose that topic?
You know, part of the everyday life of living in a city is that you do see a lot of homeless people all the time. And it's something that's frequently in my thoughts. So when I was given the opportunity to do an exhibit, I wanted to do a little bit more exploring with that. And as I spoke with people about it, I thought it would be something that could be interesting for people to join in a way by sending me their observations of the homeless people that they see, or homelessness in general. And I received 22 submissions from people with their stories they're extremely touching stories. They're beautifully written, kind of educational in that way. I got more than I was hoping for. I was just thrilled to be able to do that.
Oh, what a great thing.
Yeah.
And how about the city behind us?
That is that's a small part of Fantasy Fair, which I did. I built a sim for the arts and entertainment sim, which was called Poseidon's Abyss. And most of it was underwater. I think most people didn't know that, but most of it was underwater. But I had a city floating above. This is part of the city. And the background that you see as the background of the stage was also the background that I had on the sim itself. There was the idea of the arts and entertainment sim was for me to build a stage in the middle of the sim, and that's where the performers performed.
Yeah, and I think I loved the underground part because I felt like I discovered something that no one knew about when I fell in the water because, I'm klutzy that way.
You probably did.
I was like, wow, look at all this cool stuff down here. It was very neat.
Fun. It was amazing. When I was first told that instead of 20 meters deep, the water would be 40 meters deep, I thought, aha, I know what I'm going to do.
You had a whole playground under the water. It was great.
Exactly, yeah. It was like a playground. I enjoyed it.
What about the centaur over there with the balloon?
That's one of my early builds. That was when I first came into Second Life. I got some of my first exposure at the University of Western Australia, the UWA. I would participate in their monthly challenges, and this was one of the pieces I made.
I seem to remember judging back then.
Yeah, you were probably, yeah. Those were my newbie days.
And from there, we've got the lovely ship.
Thanks. That ship is also part of Fantasy Fair. I had several of these kinds of ships surrounding the round stage. I wanted to make sure that no builds got too close to the stage so that there would be no interference with the performers, and which was a surprise to me. I had not known of these performers before, so this was all new to me. And well, you know, for people who were able to see the performances at Fantasy Fair, that was, you know, that was truly exceptional. I was wowed. I went to every performance.
Yeah,
There was only one
amazing.
I missed. Yeah, the only one that I missed, though, was because they changed the time schedule and I didn't know that. So I missed one performance. But I did plan to go to all of them. And that was hard to leave. You know, when those ended, I stayed until the very last hour of Fantasy Fair. And I was thrown off my computer at the same time Fantasy Fair came down.
Oh. Yeah. And, you know, the background that you created, it all fit so nicely and perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
It was an amazing experience to have in the virtual world.
Oh, thank you so much. I so enjoyed that. And for the background, by the way, that you see that I put on the stage here too, that's actually a picture of something that I did in real life. It's a ceramic piece that's glazed. And so I took pictures of that city that I scratched into the clay and glazed it and decided to use that as the backdrop. So I'd like to bring in some of my real life work and mix it in with Second Life by way of shop. You know, I changed them slightly so that it fits the context of the virtual world. I've never, ever talked to anybody that I can think of outside of Second Life, and I have spoken with several people about it, who don't look at me as if they think that I'm this kid that never grew up. I mean, there's this definite idea that Second Life is, you know, for gaming only. And it's true that it is for gaming. Some people do use it for gaming, but they're not aware of the scope of different kinds of things that you can do in Second Life. It has all of that. And that nobody that I've been able to talk to so far has said, "Oh, that sounds really interesting. Tell me more about it." So, but I figured that's fine because, to be honest, that was my first view also. Before I actually stepped foot in Second Life, when Derek told me about it, I saw an ad about it, and, you know, they're very beautiful people, and I thought, oh, well, this is probably a dating game. This is for people looking, you know, oh, I want to meet somebody. And I thought, well, you know, that's fine, but that's not what, you know, I want to spend my time doing artwork. And Derek was he was very persistent, and he said, just try it. Just come in, just try it. And I did the second try, and it was like, this is absolutely me. As soon as I set foot actually in life, that was it. I was here for good.
Do you remember like the first art that you saw of somebody else's when you first came in here and thought, wow?
Yes, Derek, I don't remember every place he took me. He gave me a tour. Mm-hmm. And one of the first was in silico. I mean,
I love that, Sam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he took me other places too. But I mean, if someone introduces you to in silico, how can you turn your back on that and say this isn't the right place for me?
Yeah, I like rented an apartment there as soon as I found it.
I didn't even know they had rentals.
Yeah, see?
Oh. Oh, that must have been fun.
Yeah, totally.
You must have had an awful lot of lag, though. I mean, that's a very populated sim.
You know, I think as the years progressed, it got better and better. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Isle of Worms is fantastic. I love dragons.
I don't know that place.
Oh, it's all about dragons. It's beautiful.
I have to take notes about more places to see. Isle of Worms, did you say?
No, that's okay. But maybe you could give Haveit the landmark for it sometime.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, what kind of art did you find that you liked of others in Second Life?
There's a lot. There's a huge range of artwork in Second Life. It ranges from people who are doing things, and they do a beautiful job with that too. And I really like, walking into these places that maybe you can't go to in real life, but you're walking in and you see this. And then you'll go someplace else that's so unusual and so abstract that you can't tell if you're actually in a city or what. It's just totally very imaginative in the way that it could not exist in real life, and everything in between. So there's this wide range of artists who are in Second Life, and I enjoy seeing many different kinds of venues, but the kind that I think I relate to best are the ones where they are set up like installations, where you actually walk through a space and become kind of like a participant. You feel like you're actually visiting that space as if you were either a tourist or an inhabitant.
Yeah.
So I really
Immersed.
like that one. Immersed, yeah, the immersive kind of Sims, which, there's plenty of that I've, even on my very short tour that I've taken so far, there's plenty of that on the Second Life birthday Sims.
Yeah.
I found a great place to eat, by the way, on
really?
the frog civilization. I was just kind of looking through those incredible fountains and the landscape, and there were people dancing, and I found this kind of tunnel way that takes you down to this place where there's a food court. It was wonderful.
And did you eat while you were there?
Yeah, I was clicking on everything. It was wonderful. So, these are the kind of things that I enjoy in Second Life. People keep on theme, but there will be some accents here and there that take you away from the theme just for humor's sake or just as an accent, and that's always very enjoyable as well.
Yeah. Well, what would you tell other artists that have never been into Second Life, how they could possibly use it?
Well, I think that artists should be coming on to Second Life. They really should give it a chance. I would say, to them that working in a three-dimensional setting, or two-dimensional, because some artists prefer two-dimensional, the tools that are offered to you, which are for free in Second Life, you have a tremendous amount of choice. You can do really anything you have in your imagination. Second Life is very generous.
And can we just all say that we love his imagination? Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get your inspiration for your 3D builds?
Well, I've always worked in 3D my whole life. Since I was a little kid, I was building very rustic kind of little things, with, broken bricks and mud and twigs and paint, things like that. And then I progressed on to drawing cities on paper. But what I really wanted was a 3D. So eventually, I put the scrolls aside, and I got a really big fish tank, and I fired some buildings, ceramic buildings, and put them in there. And I love to watch the fish, go around there. That was just amazing to watch them. They're actually very territorial, so some of them actually owned some buildings while others owned other buildings. So coming into Second Life, the difference is that I no longer had to just build for fish, or for people, to see the drawings that I made on paper. Here, everything's in 3 dimensions, and people can actually come in and walk through my cities. And so, the 3D aspect was very important to me. And I feel like, being an avatar, when you walk around other people's builds, when I go into various Sims, I'm very aware of being in that person's creation, but it feels like a real place, So it in a way, it almost becomes, it's part of my own experience. It's like when you travel, you're a tourist, you go someplace, you're really there. And so you kind of own it in a way. There's a certain part of it that you feel like you own it. So I love that about 3D. And I'm really sorry, I don't remember, was that the question you asked me?
Yeah.
It was, okay.
And the other part of it is, you know, how has this helped, so to speak, build relationships with people around the world for you?
Oh, it's been incredible. Well, because everybody's from around the world here. I mean, there's really no place you can go that's just local from where I am in the world. And so by that fact, it's been very exciting to meet people from every part of the world. And I've met my friend Lilia that I've known since I was a newbie. And our relationship just keeps getting deeper and deeper. It's a wonderful friendship. She's also an artist, and so we're kind of like two peas in a pod, and we give each other feedback very frequently about our builds and about things that maybe we're writing. And when she met her partner, and everything was going really well with them, and they fell in love. Guess who was invited to the wedding in real life? It just kept escalating to this point. Yeah, and so here I go. Here I go to actually meet my dear friend Lilia and her husband, who's also my friend. And I took off to another continent. And so that was just an exceptional experience. It deepens the friendship even more.
Yeah.
So I know people from all over the world. It's India, Australia, the United States, Europe, various parts of Europe, the Middle East. There's just people from everywhere. So the only thing with Second Life is that you really have to arrange your time schedules properly because you have the time zones from everywhere at once. But I like that.
Yeah. That is always, I'm always juggling. Okay, SL time,
That's
my
right.
time,
That's right.
UK.
That's right.
Yeah, poor Safi. Yeah.
Yes, really.
I don't think Safia sleeps.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Yes. One thing during Fantasy Fair, no matter what time it was, Safia is always there.
Yeah.
No matter what time it was. Yeah, it could be the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already have ideas of what I want to do too.
So you have a whole year to come up with it. That's fantastic. And you already have an idea.
I already have an idea. The thing is that I have to start experimenting how to build it. And that was the same thing with City Inside Out that I have at the Leia 20 sim. I always like to experiment with new things, not just go with what I already know. So this is going to be the same thing for Fantasy Fair next year. It's going to be a big jump. Oh, I see someone asked what Fantasy Fair is. Is Fantasy... Oh, it's Fantasy Fair. No, it's not. It's too good to Fantasy Fair that I actually got to participate as a sim builder. And that was... that was an experience that was a complete thrill from the beginning because the people who are organizing it you absolutely feel a part of it. It's like coming into a family. Everybody is helping each other. Everybody is having fun with each other. And they're sharing the ritual that I didn't even know about, the pink flamingo ritual. At the beginning of the fair. I was like, what is that? There was this giant pink flamingo's foot in the middle of my sim, and I thought my neighbor accidentally rezzed this giant flamingo inside of my sim.
Oh.
And then I saw this whole trail of them, and then to realize that this was a part of...
initiation.
Initiation. A welcoming initiation. It was just fantastic.
Penumbra, it is a fair that celebrates role-playing and everything fantasy that you find in Second Life, basically. And it goes for a week, and it's a lot of fun, so you'll definitely have to come next year. And one of the things that I did, and we have to say, Haveit, you do some writing too, right?
Yeah, I've been getting into writing. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, Penumbra, I haven't been looking at my my I'm window, so I just saw that. Yeah. Yeah, I like to write. That was another thing that I liked about Fantasy Fair, is that I didn't even know they had this, but they had writing workshops, and that's something that I would enjoy seeing more of. Also, that I liked very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where can people see your stuff in the near future?
Oh,
You talked about.
yeah, I have a list someplace because I have several things lined up. I'm not sure of the exact date though, but I should have had that ready for you. I'm sorry, I didn't. I have it in a separate book. I don't have that in front of me.
That's okay. Everybody just friend him and so he can tell you where his stuff is as he opens it.
Yeah, well, I also have, when I remember to do this, I'm a terrible secretary, but I have a website, and I usually post on my, it's called ACC Alpha Blogspot, and I usually post what I have, the plans that I have on that blog.
You're getting a question. Why is there a mouse on your shoulder?
Oh, this is a souvenir from Fantasy Fair. One of my neighbors, her name is Runa, and she built the sim next door to me, and she made this mouse, and we developed a really nice friendship. We had a lot of fun together all throughout the fair and after too. And she knew that I really liked the mouse, so she sent it to me. And the hat I'm wearing is by my friend Lilia Artis. So I'm wearing a lot of gifts here
Hi,
today.
Lilia. Lilia's in the audience somewhere. I saw.
Lilia is always here to support me.
Does anybody else have any questions for Haveit?
Oh, I just like Penumbra. I just really like animals a lot, so I like the idea of having a little mouse on my shoulder.
All right. No questions? Wait, there's one. What program do you use to build your work? Sina wants to know.
Hi, Sina. For the organic-looking things, pieces, I use ZBrush. And for instance, the sails on the ship on the stage and the jacket on the figure that kind of looks like a Statue of Liberty, and the spiders as well, those are done on ZBrush.
Spiders there. Just kidding.
Yes, but oh, look, Tara, they're moving. No, just kidding.
Keeping me out.
There are plenty of them, plenty to go around. And then the kind of like rustic city that's in the background, and the what do you call that? The framework of the building in the background. I use Prim Generator. You're allowed to have up to an approximate 32 numbers of prims, and then you can turn that into a sculpt. And that saves a lot of prims. Yeah, see, Sophia saw the spiders creeping up too.
For the rest of you in the audience, I have a total fear of spiders. So when he pulled this out, I was hyperventilating.
Imagine how it was for me when I was building it, because I do too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh God, I don't want to do this.
How did you like moving from prims to mesh? Do you still prim build also?
Oh, yes. Oh, I will always. As a matter of fact, I was a latecomer to mesh. I didn't get the new viewer until months and months later. All my friends had it except for me. I'm so terrified of new technology. It takes me a while before I get used to it. But prims have their place, and I still, whenever I res a cube, there's still that magic. I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why, but there's that magic of, wow, I made that cube. It's just right there, and you can do anything with it. So I think that whoever put together Second Life, I think these people are absolute geniuses. I really do. I'm not saying that to compliment anybody. It's just a feeling I have every time I come into Second Life. I'm absolutely amazed by this, and very thankful to Derek that he was persistent and pushed me in after the first try didn't work.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if people only realize the possibilities of what you can do building in Second Life, from creating training facilities to art pieces, I mean, the possibilities are so much more than even real life,
I think so.
And I just don't think that message quite is out there yet, or there'd be a bazillion more people in here. But maybe we should be glad, because that'd be a lot more lag.
There would be more lag. It really would be. But I agree with you totally. There is so much in Second Life. There's the arts, there's the entertainment, there's just this huge amount of things that people, and the gaming, role playing, there's just a huge amount of things that you can do in Second Life, and each category is limitless. It's absolutely limitless. And people have this perception outside of Second Life that if you go into a virtual world, you're a loser. And, they haven't had the opportunity, I don't think, to really give it a chance to see what's not only in here to see, but what's in here that they can contribute to, because there's something here for everyone, I think.
I will say I've totally integrated the fact that with my real life and my Second Life, and it's in just in the last year, to be honest, and all of my business friends are really curious about, hey, how can I use that for training? It has totally piqued their interest, which I am excited about. Who knows?
Well, that must bravo, because you must be doing it right. I'll have to introduce you to my friends and family.
I'll come on board, don't you worry.
Super.
Well, Haveit, I want to thank you so much for taking the time with us and telling us all about your artwork. And I want to thank everybody in the audience for joining us. And Yusi, our stage manager, I don't see her, but thank you very much. Oh, there you are in the back. Hi, Yusi. Everybody, thank Yusi for helping us get this all organized. And Primperfect for sponsoring this event. And coming up next is going to be Meet the Community, and it'll be Al Rakis. Safia will be interviewing Al Rakis, so stay tuned. That starts at 5 p.m. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Taralyn.
Yeah, thanks.